Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Libris. It's been a while, but I'm still on the fence about continuing or not doing Libris in English, so you'll have to bear with me. I hope you really enjoy this little episode and you give me the incentive, the motive to keep on doing this in English as well. Today I'm doing actually the Guilty Reader book tag. I know I'm notorious for not doing tags, but this one, I don't know why, it kind of appealed to me, and I thought it was good fun, so I decided to go along and do it. So let's go and see what I've got to say. First question: have you ever gifted a book that you've been given as a gift? Well, not really. Not at least not to my knowledge. It has happened to have been at a younger age when books were a usual gift in birthdays and stuff like that, to end up with multiple copies of a book that I've already owned. So some of these copies would go to to other friends and stuff, but it wasn't. I don't think this counts as a regift or something. But generally, no, I haven't done it. Question number 2: have you ever said you've read a book when you haven't? And yep, I'm guilty as charged, and yeah, I've done it. I know it's I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it in years, but we all have our stupid moments. I don't know why I did it. Because out of foolish pride, or just the foolish attempt to impress people, stuff like that. Yes, I've done it, but I've read the books later, and well, they were good. But no, I don't do it anymore. There's assured about this. Every review you watch in Ex Libris is a real review of a book I have actually read. Well, number 3: have you ever borrowed a book and not returned it? No, I mean, no. It would take a monster to do it. I mean, please don't do it. Don't do it to your friends. Don't do it to anyone. I mean, there must be a special place in hell for people who borrow books and don't return them. So please don't do it. It's not fun. It's not okay. Don't do it. I have never done it. Well, next one: have you ever read a series out of order? Yes, on a couple of occasions, but it was not intentional and it was not my fault. Sometimes the translated editions of books in Greek don't get published in the order written. I mean, sometimes the publishing houses just publish the third or fourth or whatever was the best selling book in a series, and maybe later they will publish the rest. So sometimes you just don't realize it was part of a series, and you go and read the third or the fourth or whatever book, and then you realize that there are a couple of books before that, and that turns awkward. But yes, it has happened to me, but not intentionally. Well, next one. Oh, have you ever spoiled a book for someone? Yes, again, but by mistake. No, I never spoil books intentionally. I'm very carefully, especially about mystery and crime books. I'm very reluctant to discuss them much in fear of spoiling the fun for someone. Well, for other kinds of books, I guess it's not that important, but you wouldn't like to know who murdered Roger Croyd, would you? Huh? Well, yeah, you know what I mean. I don't discuss even well-known books if the other one hasn't read it, so try not to spoil the fun for anyone. But again, it depends on the book. Next one: have you ever jugeared the book? Unfortunately, yes. I'm guilty, and I've gone through my redemption, and I hope I will be forgiven. I used to jugeared the books that was years ago, decades ago, but I don't do it anymore. I use bookmarks as every normal person should do. Of course, there are still people that jugeared their books. Okay, I see that there is still salvation for them, but of course there are also monsters that deface or write in the books with all these flashy colors and stuff, and yeah, they will burn in hell, definitely. Yeah, we'll make sure about that, don't worry. Well, so next one, have you ever told someone you don't own a book when you do? No, I'm proud of my book collection, and I would, I wouldn't do that. But I can imagine situations where one has to, to avoid discussing a book, or simply one is asking to borrow a book, and you don't really want to lend the book, and yeah, you got to pretend you don't have it, but it hasn't happened yet, so no, I haven't done it, so I'm scot-free here. Well, next one. Have you ever told someone you haven't read the book when you have? I mean, no. Why should I do that? I'm proud again of the books I've read, and I love to discuss about them, and I'm proud of my choices in books, and I always give my opinion, be it positive or negative, about a book. But again, I can understand there are people that sometimes you may read a book that is controversial, and you end up in a discussion with a person that you don't want to you don't want to make them feel bad, or you don't want to disappoint them. You have to pretend that you don't care about that such and such book and stuff like that. But yeah, it hasn't happened to me. In fact, I kind of like to embarrass people with my book choices, so yeah, I haven't done it, and I will not do it. I'm proud of what I read. Well, and next one. Have you ever skipped a chapter or a section of a book? Yes. I'm so guilty here. I should go for life, but I do it. It's because of my obsession compulsive about finishing. I rarely, very rarely leave a book unfinished. I go it, I buy the bullet and I stick it to the bitter, and I try and I cry and I always finish the books, and of course then they have to live with my contempt and my bad reviews and stuff like that, but I tend to finish books. But I skip not chapters not, but some paragraphs and sessions. Then those paragraphs that the writer goes on and on and on, all this stream of conscience on part of the character, and their internal thoughts about whatever, and many times on subjects that have nothing to do with the book, with the plot, just go on thinking about philosophical stuff, and yeah, I skip whole paragraphs when that comes to. I mean, okay, if you want to talk about philosophy, right, by all means write a philosophy book, or if you want to discuss philosophy and supernatural and stuff like that, and God and whatever, in a normal fiction book, keep it short, okay? That's all. Okay, enough ranting. So, and last but not least, have you ever butt-mouthed the book you actually liked? I mean, no. Why Why should I do that? It's like the previous question. I can imagine people getting in that awkward situation where they have to say that they didn't like that book because it's controversial and stuff, and the plot, the story. But I have never done. As I've said before, I kind of like to embarrass people. So no, if I like a book, I will go out and shout about it. I'll promote it. I'll make an Libris about it and be loud about the book. I won't. I will never but not. Okay, the opposite has happened to me, and I guess to most of us, but that's not the question. I have try to be nice and polite about books I haven't liked, but that's a whole different story. So no, I haven't badmouthed a book that I have actually liked. So that's all. That was my guilty reader book tag. It was fun, and of course, if you feel like to, free to do it in whatever form you like, be it blog, booktube, Instagram, whatever, podcast, what. So that's all for now. I hope this little video is kind of incentive enough for you to watch X Libris, for me to get some feedback, so that I can keep doing X Libris in English for some time again. So that's all for now. Bye.